Hello, beautiful souls listening to me today. I'm Louise Hay, and I'm speaking directly to each and every one of you, to every person who has ever felt the need to beg for love, attention, or validation. I want to take you on a journey that will transform your life. It's a journey from pain to freedom, from emptiness to abundance, from neediness to inner strength. You have no idea of the power that's about to awaken within you, ready to be unleashed. Stay with me until the end because I promise, the change you'll feel inside will be absolutely extraordinary. Picture this. The pain you're feeling today will soon be the pain they feel. The emptiness weighing you down now will soon be the space they can't fill without you. Why? Because something magical happens when you stop begging. When you choose to let go, when you become the person who no longer needs to chase anyone. The energy shifts, the game flips. Suddenly, it's they who start seeking, thinking about, and needing you. It doesn't matter how distant, cold, or indifferent they seem right now. When you truly step back, not from lack, but from inner abundance, their subconscious registers it as a real loss. And that's exactly when the real pursuit begins. Today, I'm going to guide you step by step along this path. From the place where you feel lost to the point where, without even trying, you become what they most desire to reclaim. This isn't manipulation. It's a universal law. It's vibration. It's pure psychology. So stay with me. Let yourself be inspired. And I guarantee you'll rediscover yourself in a way you never thought possible. When you beg, you're unconsciously saying, I'm worth less. Many of you are stuck in that moment of emotional anguish, feeling that the other person is pulling away, growing colder, or even seeming to have forgotten everything they once claimed to feel. In that moment, fear takes over, and with fear comes the need to control. And with that need comes the biggest mistake of all, begging. But I'm not just talking about begging with words. Often we beg through our energy, our gestures, our desperate silences, the messages we draft 1,000 times but never send. Every action driven by that hidden plea of, please don't leave, is a form of begging. That, please don't leave, vibrates so intensely even if you don't say it out loud. It's the start of energetic self-destruction because the subconscious mind of others, and this is crucial, doesn't pick up on words. It picks up on vibrations. When someone senses you do anything to keep them from pulling away, something inside them shuts off. Desire doesn't thrive in desperation. The spark of interest fades. Many of you believe that by showing how much you love, how much you're willing to do, the other person will come back and appreciate it. You think that if you're unconditional, they'll value your effort. You assume that if you endure everything, your sacrifice will be noticed. But that's not how the mind or heart works. Desire doesn't grow from excess. Desire grows from space. When someone realizes you don't value yourself, that you lower yourself in their absence, that your world stops without them, they disconnect. It's not a rational decision, not something they choose to do. It just happens. Their subconscious whispers a harsh truth. If they beg, they're not a prize. If they diminish themselves, I don't need to do anything. I've always taught that we project our lacks and desires onto others. When you're centered, when you are the one choosing, the other person sees you as an ideal. You're a mystery, a conquest, a challenge. But when you beg, when you lower yourself, they feel they already have you without any effort. You stop being their ideal and become something too accessible, too safe, without challenge. And no, it's not that people want to suffer or chase the impossible. Deep down, they desire what they perceive as valuable. And value isn't begged for. Value is embodied. Let me share a story. Paula and Andre had been together for a year. Everything flowed until Andre started pulling away. Unanswered calls, messages left unread for hours, plans left hanging. Paula, driven by fear, began to beg. "What's wrong? Are you okay? I just want to know if you still care about me. Please, say something." Day after day, her energy grew heavier. She was no longer the person Andre laughed with, dreamed with, or felt connected to. She became a shadow, pleading for attention, and Andre, without knowing why, pulled away even more, until Paula, exhausted, stopped, not as a tactic, but out of sheer depletion. She stopped reaching out, stopped pushing, stopped begging. Weeks later, Andre came back with messages Paula never expected. "I've been thinking about you. I can't get you out of my head. I feel like I've lost you." What happened? When Paula let go, her vibration shifted from desperation to liberation. Andre felt that void, and that void ignites desire. Begging is the energy of lack, and lack repels. Letting go is the energy of abundance, and abundance attracts. It's a simple yet profoundly powerful principle. Your logical mind might struggle to accept it, but your energetic field doesn't lie. People feel this vibration, they sense it, they intuit it, and when you no longer need their validation to feel whole, they start seeking the validation you've stopped needing. It's like a mirror. When you reflect strength, self-love, and solidity, they want to be part of that light. When you let go, something magical happens. The space you create isn't just physical silence, but an energetic void that throws them off balance. Many of you have been taught you must fight to avoid being forgotten, that you need to stay present to avoid becoming invisible. But the truth is the exact opposite. When you let go, you don't erase yourself from their life. You plant a seed in their mind, the seed of doubt, of longing, of the need to win you back. As long as you beg, you're the one feeling the emptiness. You're the one carrying the anxiety, the fear. They, on the other hand, remain comfortable, secure, knowing they're in control. But when you let go, when you rise above that need, when you decide it's not worth losing yourself for someone who doesn't make an effort, something in them awakens. The certainty that they'll always be there vanishes. In its place is a space that hurts, an echo, a silence that was once filled by your messages, your attention, your pursuit. Now that void belongs to them. Now they're the ones wondering, where are they? Why aren't they reaching out anymore? Who are they giving what they used to give me? Let me tell you about Sandra and Marcos. Sandra spent months chasing Marcos, always available, always texting, always checking if everything was okay. Marcos, comfortable, in no rush, with no real interest. Until Sandra, tired, not from anger but from self-love, stopped. She stopped texting, stopped reacting, stopped asking. She simply let go. Weeks passed in silence. Then the phone rang. It was Marcos, no longer the confident person he once was. "Are you okay? I've been thinking about you a lot. I feel you're distant." Sandra wasn't playing a game. She had let go from the bottom of her heart. And Marcos felt that void, a void that forced him to wake up. Because in the subconscious, a loss hurts more than any rejection. When you let go, the mirror flips. I've always taught that the human psyche projects what it doesn't want to feel. When you beg, you project your lack, and they pull away, feeling superior. But when you let go, they project their lack. Now they're the ones facing the void, needing validation. And that's exactly when the game changes. As you elevate your energy, theirs lowers to try to reach you. Not out of ego, but because the subconscious is drawn to what it fears losing. Letting go isn't giving up. Letting go is saying, I don't need you to feel good about myself. But if you come, let it be because you chose to, not because I forced you. This is the most mature form of energy, the one that doesn't push, doesn't pull, doesn't chase, doesn't demand, just is. Trust me, this energy is irresistible. When someone senses they no longer have you in the palm of their hand, that they don't know if they can still be part of your world, they become the ones who desire you. When you let go, when you let the space speak, when you trust that your energy is more powerful than your words, you'll see that the person who seemed so sure about walking away will come back begging, because your absence touches them more than your presence ever could. The truth few dare to tell you is this: it's not what you say or do, it's what you vibrate. People aren't as rational as they seem. Their deepest desires aren't driven by your words, long messages, or sacrifices. It's something far deeper, your energy, which either holds them close or pushes them away. When you stop needing their validation, when you give yourself the place you've denied yourself, when you stop begging to be chosen and simply choose yourself, everything changes. They feel this energy like a subtle but devastating blow. Why don't they need me anymore? Why aren't they reaching out like before? Who are they giving the energy they used to give me? This uncertainty pierces them deeply, because desire feeds on what isn't guaranteed. It's the energy of the unattainable that moves them. I've always spoken about the projections of the subconscious. When you chase, they project lack onto you and see you as something safe, predictable. But when you let go, without resentment, without drama, they can no longer project that security. They project emptiness instead, and emptiness hurts. Let me tell you about Claudia. Claudia was the person who gave everything, always attentive, always available, always fixing things for Daniel. He saw her as part of the scenery, knowing she'd be there whenever he wanted, until Claudia changed. No drama, no fights. She just let go. She started living for herself, having new experiences, making new friends, setting new priorities. Her vibration shifted. Suddenly, Daniel, who had never felt jealousy or anxiety, grew restless. Where's Claudia? Why isn't she reaching out anymore? What's she doing? His thoughts turned into obsession. Obsession turned into need. Need turned into desire. He ended up seeking her, begging. Why? Because Claudia went from, I need you, to, I have myself. She became an enigma, and he became her pursuer. This is the paradox of detachment. When you don't need, they feel drawn to you. Someone desires the person who doesn't need them. They become obsessed with the one who can live without them. They move toward the one who stays centered. When you vibrate in neediness, they rest. When you vibrate in emotional independence, they get restless. When you vibrate in self-love, they want to be part of that light. We live in an era of constant competition, social media, social circles, endless messages. It feels like the goal is to prove who gives the most, who fights the hardest for attention. But amid all this noise, there's a type of person who stands out. Not for giving the most, not for seeking the most, but for not competing, for not begging, for simply being. For those who took you for granted, who were used to you chasing them, you become in that moment their quietest obsession. When you decide not to compete for their attention, when you let others run while you walk at your own pace, you break their pattern. The human subconscious is wired to recognize patterns. If they seek me, I'm valuable. If they beg for me, I'm in control. But you step out of that script. You're not part of the crowd. You don't play the game. And in that moment, something ignites in them. Why aren't they playing? Why don't they need me like others do? What do they have that others don't? Laura is a perfect example. She was always the person who gave everything in her relationships, messages, care, sacrifices. And she always ended up exhausted, empty, forgotten. Until after much pain, she decided she'd never beg for attention again. She promised herself things would be different. She met Julian. At first, she was her usual self, kind, attentive, but different. She didn't compete, didn't seek validation, didn't beg. She was secure, aware of her worth, in control of her time and energy. Julian, used to people playing his game, was confused, intrigued, and, over time, deeply drawn to her. He had to chase her, not because she played hard to get, but because she didn't need to chase him. She was the prize, and he had to earn her. What you don't fight to keep is what you never forget. When you step back from the game of begging, when you stop being predictable, you become their shadow, a presence that lingers, a memory that refuses to fade, an image they can't let go of. There's a truth no one should ever forget. No one begs for someone who's always available. They beg for the one who's a mystery. They beg for the one who doesn't need them. And when I talk about mystery, I don't mean superficial games. I mean something far deeper, vibrating in your essence, your energetic unattainability, born from self-love. It's not about blocking or ignoring them to make them come back. That's immature and manipulative. It's about something infinitely more powerful, becoming the person who no longer needs them to choose you, because you've already chosen yourself. When that happens, when your energy shifts from that of an emotional beggar to that of someone who doesn't leave their throne, they feel it. It's not something they see on your social media, not something they hear in your words. It's something they sense on a vibrational level. They've changed. They don't need me anymore. They're not mine anymore. And that's when the game flips. Mariana is a clear example. She was obsessed with Elias, always available, always reaching out, always giving in. He, comfortable, knew she wasn't going anywhere. Until Mariana hit rock bottom. She couldn't keep emptying herself to be seen. So, she let go. Not out of anger, not out of resentment, but out of self-love. She started living for herself, rebuilding, rediscovering herself. And the deeper her connection to herself became, the more Elias showed up. First with casual messages, then nostalgic questions, then confessions. I miss you more than I thought. I can't stop thinking about you. I need you in my life. Why? Because Mariana became unattainable. Not because she was playing games, but because she put herself first. The human subconscious feels, even if it doesn't understand. Someone may rationalize their actions, but their deepest desires are instinctive, emotional, subconscious. They don't know why they start dreaming about you, why they seek you in their memories, why they feel something's missing. They only know they need you back because your absence leaves an echo nothing can fill. So far, I've shown you how by letting go, by stopping begging, you become the person they can't let go of. But there's something even deeper, something beyond attachment and detachment. The subconscious perception of a permanent loss. Someone can handle many things. Rejection, momentary indifference, even competition. But what they can't handle is the feeling that they've lost you forever. As long as you remain available in some way, even without begging, they feel they still have a chance. If you respond quickly, react to their hints, stay on their radar, they think the power is still in their hands. But when you truly disconnect, when your energy stops revolving around them, when you're no longer emotionally or mentally available, something breaks. They feel the disconnection, not as they're ignoring me, but as I'm no longer part of their world. And that destroys them. To the subconscious, being forgotten is worse than being rejected. Rejection can be reversed. Forgetting is final. Natalia is a prime example. She tried letting go of Javier multiple times but kept falling back, texting him, responding to any attempt at contact. Until one day, something shifted. Not for him, but for her. Exhausted, not from hatred but from self-love, she closed that chapter. She didn't block him, didn't delete him, just lived as if he didn't exist. She started traveling, working on herself, smiling genuinely. And when she least expected it, Javier showed up, not with a casual, "Hey," but with an urgency Natalia had never seen. "I can't stop thinking about you. I feel like I've lost you forever. Tell me I can still do something to get you back." What happened? He no longer felt her in his orbit. He no longer sensed he could return whenever he wanted. And in his subconscious, that translated into pure fear. A fear that drove him to act immediately. This isn't revenge. It's a universal law. The energy you withdraw is the energy they feel as absence. And that absence is what moves them, because desire always chases what isn't guaranteed. Now you know. It's not your persistence, your sacrifices, or your pursuit that moves them. It's your energy. It's your silence infused with self-love. It's your conscious absence that makes them realize what they've lost and drives them to beg for you back. When you become the person who doesn't compete, who doesn't beg, who doesn't negotiate their worth, you automatically become the person they can't let go of. Because the person who chooses themselves is the only one they, sooner or later, truly desire. Today you have two paths. You can fall back into the old pattern, begging, chasing, emptying yourself. Or you can let go with maturity, raise your vibration, and allow them to make their way back to you. I invite you to choose yourself. Stop seeking and start attracting. If this message resonates with you, I want you to write this powerful statement in the comments right now. Today, I choose myself and let life bring me what I deserve. Write it to anchor it in your energy. If this video touched your soul, give it a like. It helps spread this message to more people. Subscribe if you haven't already, because this channel is a sanctuary for those awakening their inner power. And don't leave yet. On the screen, I'm leaving another video that will take you even further on this journey. Click it now and let this transformation keep flowing. I'll see you there, and trust me, you're going to love it.